As winter settles in, it's time to reassess and cut back in my garden, allowing the plants to rest and prepare for a fresh start come spring. There's something so satisfying about tidying up the overgrowth in the garden beds, creating space for new growth to come. This process isn't about maintenance, it's about looking back on what worked well this past season and what can be improved next year. Embracing these quiet moments in my winter garden keeps me waiting for the warmer days ahead. I came out this morning just to have a look around the garden before work and to see what needs doing this weekend. And I think one of the jobs that needs to be done is to cut back the Miscanthus grasses. These were beautiful throughout the summer months, but you can see now that they are looking a little bit tatty in the garden, and they could do with just being trimmed back, as we have got some new shoots coming up from the ground. The Rhododendrons I did trim back a few weeks ago as we had a storm here in South Wales, and so I decided to cut them back just after the storm and to keep the garden looking tidy. This here is another grass, and this one also needs to be trimmed back, as at the moment all the bits seem to be floating around the garden and I'm picking them up all the time. So there's a few jobs that need doing in the garden this weekend. So come Saturday, as long as it's not raining, I'll be out here getting things done. I moved the bird table back up near the house as we had a storm brewing the other night, but now it's time just to put it back, and as soon as I did, a little robin came to eat off the table. This is the first bird that I've seen on it, and it's lovely to see. I also popped into the garden centre this morning and I purchased this plant, which is a Mahonia winter sun, and I've had my eye on this now for quite a while. So today was the day that I had to go and get it. There's some lovely spiky leaves on this plant, and apparently this will grow up to 3 meters tall. So I want to find a place down the bottom of the garden. A really beautiful looking plant, and I'm so pleased with it. is looking now a lot neater after a cut back, but just be careful of the sharp edges when cutting back the grasses. I should really have worn gloves, as I have now got a few cuts on my hands. I've also just been around the bottom of the phormiums and just tidied up any of the dead pieces at the bottom, and they now are looking a lot neater too. I'm going to have a go today at making my own Ericaceous compost, and to do this all I'm going to do is just start a pot off with some ordinary garden compost, and what I have got in the house is a Tassimo machine, and I'm just going to start emptying these coffee grounds from these used pods into the compost and give it a mix up, and hopefully once I get to about a 50-50 mix, I'll just keep it mixed up and add it to my rhododendrons for the acid loving plants. And that is a way of just not wasting anything really, and putting these old coffee grounds to good use. So I'm just going to add now some ordinary compost just into the bottom of a pot, and then just using a knife. It's surprising how much coffee is in one of these pods. I'll just empty it out and get as much out as I can. I've just got 3 pods from this morning, but I'm sure that these will soon add up and give me some homemade Ericaceous compost. And I'm sure my rhododendrons will love it. So I'll give that a good stir and keep that now in the greenhouse. So walking down now to the bottom end of the garden, this is the area along the back perimeter that I'm trying to fill with some hardy evergreens, just to give us a little bit of a natural screen between us and the house behind. I've been looking for plants that are going to grow quite large, and I've planted a few laurels along here already, and this is where I have to slot in my new Mahonia. It's just typical that as soon as I want to start planting something, we have a bit of a rain shower, but it's stopped now, so I think I'll get out my spade and let's get sorted of getting some things into this back border here. I have got a Sambucus Black Beauty there, but the trouble with that is that it loses all the leaves in the winter. So I was thinking maybe I could pop that in this area here by the euphorbia, and then it would be able to grow up tall. And where the Sambucus is would leave a lovely space for the new Mahonia. I think that'll look really nice there. So the Mahonia now is in along this back border, and I think it fills the spot quite nice there. And over time, I think there will be enough in this back border to fill it up. We've got some buds there on the forsythia, so they're always one of the earliest to come out in the springtime. And behind that now, I've planted the Sambucus Black Beauty. That's a larger variety than the black lace, so hopefully that'll grow up and form quite a tree. And we've also got an Acer there in the corner and another cordyline. So I think just be patient and things will start to improve down the bottom of the garden. It does look quite bare now, without the grasses. But they'll all be back now in the springtime. And the bananas are still tucked away under their yoghurt pots. So thank you so much for joining me in the garden, doing a little bit of winter gardening today. And until next time, I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.